OFPG Voices is brought to you by the following sponsors. Calliope Games, publisher of Roll For It, Suro, and Enchanted Plumes. They publish tabletop games for players of all ages and skill levels. Their games are crafted to inspire laughter and fun. Board&Dice. Board&Dice designs and publishes family and strategy board games. Two of their most recent releases, Origins First Builders and Mandala Stones. They recently announced their Ally program, primarily aimed at welcoming and supporting people of color and the LGBTQ+ community in the hobby. Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games. Voices. Yeah.
Welcome to our first episode
Yes.
of OFPG Voices.
Yes.
We are so excited.
Oh, we're just crazy right now. We're just so crazy excited.
We're so excited to bring you a different perspective on the board game hobby.
Yes. So much needed.
Yeah, from people from different walks of life. Mm-hmm. You know, we wanted to put together this new show that was going to spotlight, you know, people of color, women, LGBTQ, you know, all of those underrepresented voices. And we've got the lineup.
Yes, we do. We have some contributors. Yeah. Now, I just want to let you know, our contributors, all the information is going to be on the bottom in the description. So I just want to let you know, but we definitely want you to go visit them, all of them. But now let's get it started off with this first episode. What's happening, Starla? What's going on?
This first episode, we're going to bring to you 3 contributors.
Yes.
And the first segment, we're going to teach you how to play a game.
Yeah.
So the first segment is How to Play with Dwayne and Alicia from BlackBoard Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
And Dwayne's going to be talking about the game Juicy Fruit.
Yeah, you know.
How you play it?
You know, we still need to get that. Maybe he's going to give us, you know, why we need to get it and how good is it.
And how good it is and show you how to play it.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to listen to Tanya Pobuda give us kind of an academic perspective on the board game hobby in her segment called Schooled By Gru.
She's going to tell us why it's so much needed in this hobby to do diversity and inclusion. She's going to let us know. Yeah.
And then last but not least, we're going to be talking games with Jazz from Lobby of Hobbies.
Here come Jazz. Yeah. Here come my family there, that boy.
So he's coming. He's focusing on games from 2021.
Yes.
And we're going to learn a lot from Jazz.
Yes, we are. And we're going to have fun, too, doing it. So we're really looking forward to that. Yeah. So let's go. Let's start it up. Our first episode. Let's do it, family. Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
And we are BlackBoard Gaming.
One of our favorite games of 2021 is Juicy Fruits.
Juicy Fruits was designed by Christian Store and published by Deep Print Games.
Let's go to the table for a brief overview of how this game is played.
To set up Juicy Fruits, we will first take the scoreboard and the business board and place it in the middle of the play area. Next, we would take the 24 business tokens and draw a number of those business tokens based on the number of players and place it on the business board. So we're setting up for a 2-player game. We would just fill these 2 columns up with business tokens. The next thing we would do is take these ice cream tokens and place them in their designated spots at the bottom of the board. So we got your green, you got yellow, and you got your blue. And then you got these milkshake tokens that go in this spot. Then we would take this license token and place it on the number based on the number of players. So there's 7 right there. And then we would take these large venue tiles and place them off to the side. Each player will choose a player color and they will receive a postcard of their player color, a score marker which they'll place over on the scoreboard, and then they will get 5 collector tokens which they will place on their board, their island board in this configuration face down. So you don't know where your fruit is going. Once you've done that, then you will flip those tiles over, revealing where your fruit is. So there are 5 fruits in the game. You got your orange, you got your pomegranate, mangosteen, banana, and lime. And those fruit are represented by these big old chunky pieces right here. Next, the players will randomly draw 12 ship tokens out of two different bags, and they will place it around their island in this configuration. Once they've done that, then a starting player will be chosen. Play can begin. So, the object of the game is to score victory points by producing and selling fruit. So, how do you do that? A player's turn is broken up into two parts. The first part is producing fruit. And how they produce fruit is they will take one of these tiles and slide it as far as they can get, a number of spaces, and then they will produce some fruit based on the number of spaces. So if I slid this orange like so, then I will get one orange. Place it next to my player board. Now the second part of my turn is I can either supply a ship or I can buy a business. Of course, all I have is an orange, so I can't do too much on that. So my turn will end. But let's say on my next turn, I decide to move this pomegranate. 1, 2. Yep, you guessed it. I will produce 2 pomegranate. Now I can actually supply a ship. I will take these 2 pomegranate and this orange, return it to the supply, and I will take this ship, move it off my board, and that's going to score me 2 victory points, which I will record immediately, and move it off to the side. So now there's some more space I can move. And so what I do want to do is try to get some of these ships off of my, supplied and moved off my island so I can produce more fruit. Like I said, on the second part of my turn, I can either supply a ship, which would clear me up some space on my island board, or I can buy a business. So let's say I took these 2 pomegranates and this orange that I had got. I could go to this guy and buy one of these businesses as in his row. And I would score 2 victory points right there, which I will record immediately. And I will return that fruit to the supply, and then I could place one of those businesses on my board. Now, let's take a look at some of the businesses real quick. So, this will just score me 5 points at the end of the game, and it will just take up space. This one here would just take up space, but it will give me 4 points for each beach that's clear. So if I clear a boat off of that island, off that side of the island, I get 4 points. I could buy this ice cream truck. If I had the resources, I could come down here, buy this ice cream truck, and then this moves on my board. So I will be able to produce ice cream. That will score me points. So this is green. I will be scoring these ice creams here. So you got 7 and 8 points. If I could pay a lime and a pomegranate for every space I move this ice cream truck and produce ice cream. I could also get one of these baskets. So now I can move this on my board, and this will score me. I could produce either pomegranate or orange. And if you see this +1, that means I would get an extra one. So if I move this 3 spaces, I can get 3 pomegranates or 3 oranges or a mixture, but I can get up to 3 fruit. Like I said, this one gives me 4 points for each of that business that I have that symbol. This one here, I wouldn't put this tile. If I buy this business, I don't put this one on there, but I would put this to the side, and I would get this venue, and I would place that on my board. So that takes up 4 spaces. So I got to make sure I got the space to place that on my board. Now, anytime I buy a business or one of these stacks of ice cream is depleted, or I forgot with my ice cream truck, I can also make shakes. And the shakes I would turn into like 2 pomegranates or 2 limes or 2 mangosteens or whatever and make shakes. If any of these just depleted, or whenever I buy a business, this marker will go down 1. So whenever this marker comes down here to that X, we will make sure everybody has had the equal amount of turns, and then the game will end. So we would count up our points, check for anything that gives us in-game points, and then whoever has the most points would win Juicy Fruits. After you have gotten a few plays of the base game in, you can add in the Juice Factory variant. You'll flip the scoreboard over, which will reveal the Juice Factory. Each player has a couple of extra score tokens, and you will place those in one of the open spots to the far left of the Juice Factory. Now, in Juicy Fruits, the second part of your turn has a third action you can take. You can either supply a ship, you can either buy a business, or you can spend the fruit to move your token up this track, scoring you points along the way.
When I first saw the name Juicy Fruits, I was intrigued. And then when Dwayne set the game up and I saw that chunky fruit, I was all in. I knew I had to play this game.
Yeah, I knew she would like it. You know, just the presence of it on the table, the chunky fruit, and we learned what mangosteens are. So, Juicy Fruits is the 1 to 4 player game. It's for ages 10 and up, and it is a great game to introduce to your family. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
And we will see you next time.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tanya Pobuda. I'm a Ph.D. candidate who studies board games. And today we're going to do a deep dive into some of my dissertation research, looking at how inclusive is board gaming with a specific focus on Canada and the US. And this is my first ever video for Our Family Plays Games, and I'm so pleased and proud to be here. So let's take it away. This is Schooled by Gru, an exclusive series for Our Family Plays Games Voices, where I do a deep dive into my PhD dissertation research and share with you the findings before the rest of the world sees it, exclusively on Our Family Plays Games. So first you might be asking yourself, why Gru? Gru is short for Grushenka, and it was an old gamer nickname I had back in the 1990s and going forward since then, where I called myself Grushenka online, and so my friends called me Gru. My research started about 4 years ago when I started tracking Board Game Geek top 200 and then top 400 games to look for patterns in some of the gender and racial dimensions of the designers of those games, the artwork on those games, looking at Board Game Geek databases and basically doing a very deep dive analysis into cover art and the labor of board games. One of the first things that I identified is in the top 400 Board Game Geek ranked games, 92.6% of those games were designed by white men. The other thing I looked at was the imagery on the cover art of the top 200 Board Game Geek ranked games. And I discovered of the nearly 2,000 figures that I recorded, 82.5% of those human representations were white presenting figures. In addition, 76.8% of the nearly 2,000 figures that I recorded were men or boys, so appeared to be male. And yet, when you compare these findings to global demographies, you see a real disconnect. Very basic audience research tells us that 80% of the world's population is Black, Indigenous, persons of color. The US, which is one of the largest consumer markets in the world, has a population of 57.8% who are white, non-Hispanic. When you look at major urban centers in Canada and the US, you can see it's almost a 50-50 split between BIPOC and white populations. In a city like New York, with one of the largest consumer hubs in the world, it's more of a 60-40 split, with 60% BIPOC and 40% white. In my hometown in Toronto, you have a 50-50 split. So the board game findings that I was discovering didn't really make a lot of sense in the context of population demographics in the US and Canada. So I wanted to find out, it bothered me, if it bothered other board game players. So I asked 320 research participants to weigh in on issues of representation. Now, I'm going to be sharing some of the quantitative data from those findings in subsequent episodes, but today I really wanted to walk you through some of the comments that I got from participants of the survey, specifically comments like this one, where our local board game convention is whiter than Wonder Bread, and the game designer club I attend has an all-male attendance 95% of the time. These are the kinds of comments that I got in the survey. I got comments like this one, when there was actual representation of Black, Indigenous persons of color in board game artwork. Often it was very negative. And in this particular comment, talking about the way Indigenous peoples are represented in board game artwork as being very negative, and in this case, barbarians in need of civilization. And here's another comment talking about the importance of real sensitivity, investigation, research, and that there needs to be some investigation into how these themes and ideas are produced and brought to market. In this particular instance, the negative portrayal of Black identities in certain board game products, and how companies need to do better. There's so much more to come. This is my very first installment for Our Family Plays Games, Schooled by Gru. Thank you so much for listening.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jazz from the Lobby of Hobbies, and on this episode of OFPG Voices, I've been asked to bring to you a list of games from 2021. Now, this isn't your typical top list or best games of 2021. This has a unique twist to it. This is a set of games that I think will be an awesome way to start a collection. So whether you are a new gamer and you want to figure out what would be a good collection of games to start if I only had the 2021 games to select from, or let's say I'm an experienced gamer, I have a collection, and let's just say I had to either sell it off or I lost it to a natural disaster. Where would I start if only the 2021 games were available to me? So let's get right into this one with my first game on the list. This is all about building a theme park and creating a tableau of cards. This is Funfair, where you are, trying to draft cards, hire staff, build attractions, score points, earn money, and at the same time, you're trying to fulfill blueprint goal card objectives that are in the center of the table. This one is fun, plays great with new gamers, experienced gamers. If you weren't a fan of the original one called Unfair, because it was too mean, definitely give this one a try. Funfair. This is from Good Games Publishing. The next one on my list is a co-op style game. It's app driven and it comes from Lucky Duck Games. This is Chronicles of Crime, specifically the Millennial series. You have the 1900 series and the 2400 series. These are great. There is an app that you download where you are going to be using it to scan cards, to scan items, scan the people that you are interacting with, to ask them questions, find out and solve the crime. If you're a big fan of crime movies and crime TV shows, this is an awesome co-op game to play. There's so much variety in this box. I haven't played the 2400 yet, but the 1900 added a new element that the original Chronicles of Crime did not have, which are these puzzle cards. So if you're into like escape rooms and it gives you that escape room type feel of solving puzzles, definitely check out Chronicles of Crime, the Millennial series. The next one is an abstract game, and if you are a fan of abstracts like Azul and whatnot, this one is just as beautiful and just as good, I think, as Azul. This is Garinto from Grand Gamers Guild, where you are building up a Japanese pagoda using 5 different element tiles. There is earth, fire, wind, water, and void. Each of those tiles allow you to do different things to acquire other tiles into your tableau. So it's almost like a set collection where each round you are scoring different points based on what the objective is that rotates each round. This one plays very fast, has a solo mode, and even if you buy the expansion, will take this up to 5 players. So definitely check out Garinto from Grand Gamers Guild. Now, if you're a fan of party games, you have to have party games in your collection. This one is not only a party game, it also fills the roll and write, flip and write genre for my category, and this one is so good. This is Super Mega Lucky Box from Game Right Games. Now, you're going to be writing on your cards. Think Gamers Bingo. Each round there's going to be a card and a number that is flipped over and it's going to be called out, and you are crossing out those numbers on your cards that are in front of you, similar to bingo. If you fill complete rows, complete columns, they're going to give you other bonuses, maybe to score other points or cross out other numbers. Man, it's just so good, plays so fast. You can add multiple boxes of this game to take this up to 12 players. The box plays up to 6. Had so much fun with this at Origins and PAX Unplugged. We were playing this into the wee hours of the night. Definitely check out Super Mega Lucky Box. The next one is probably one of my favorite games of the year. A nice light engine builder, but has this thinkiness to it. I wouldn't say it's light, it's just quick. Plays so fast, probably 45 minutes, 2 to 4 players. This is Furnace. I believe it even has a solo mode. This is from Arcane Wonders, where you are trying to acquire cards into your tableau to build an engine, and you're trying to have the most money at the end of the game. Don't blink, because if you do, this game will be over before you know it. It's crunchy, it's a lot of thinkiness to it, but it's fast. You have to have a crunchier game in the collection, but it's not too hard to pick up. Definitely check out Furnace from Arcane Wonders. The next game on my list is another beautiful game, probably one of the top games. You've probably seen this on a bunch of people's list. It is incredible, awesome tile laying game where you are building a habitat and trying to get these animals into their appropriate habitat. This is Cascadia from Flat Out Games and AEG Games. Man, this one is good. The art from Beth Sobel is incredible. Randy Flynn has an incredible design on this table. This is a relaxing game, beautiful game to get to the table. Everyone that I have played this one with loves it. If you were a fan of Calico and you like that one, definitely check this one out, because I think this is, I wouldn't say leaps and bounds better, but it is definitely better. It's one of my favorite games of this past year. The last game on my list, I'm bringing you seven games, is I live in New Jersey, and if you want to build a city in New Jersey, why not build it in one of the most beautiful, towns by the ocean? This one is Cape May. This is an economic style game where you are moving around the board trying to build up not build up cities, build up the city with shops and build up the city with homes, make Victorian beautiful homes on it. This one is Cape May. It's beautiful. It even has the bird watching element of Cape May, which Cape May is known for. If you are a fan of Monopoly, but you want to take it up a step and not roll and move for dice, use your hand management and cards on this one. This is Cape May from Thunderworks Games. So there you have it. That's my list of games that I would start a collection with. They're beautiful. Each game has a little bit of variety to get your collection started. So thanks again. You can find me on the socials at Lobby of Hobbies everywhere. But I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Well,
there we go.
That was it.
Yeah.
First episode of OFPG Voices.
And it was great.
It was great.
It was great. I love it.
Yeah, we're so happy our contributors came on board.
Yes.
And you know what? At our next show, we're going to bring you 3 more contributors.
3 more. Now, family, we're going to see you again in 2 weeks. And that's January 26th with, like Starla said, 3 more contributors talking about, 2021 games. So we're really excited to see what they say.
Yeah.
But one more thing. I want to say that, I'm so happy because when I was getting into this hobby, I wished that I could find something like this.
Yeah.
I wished, and I'm so glad that we're able to provide that, because this is what I was looking for.
Yeah, we're able to spotlight people of color, women, underrepresented voices, and put it all into one location. So that if you're looking for this type of content, here it is.
And if you want somebody that looks and feels and just like you, here we are. Here we are.
OFPG Voices.
Yeah. Now, Starla, where can we find some merch for this?
Well, if you want some merch that says OFPG Voices and you want to support, we have t-shirts and sweatshirts with the OFPG Voices logo.
Yes, and we definitely want to say we want to thank our sponsors, Board&Dice and Calliope Games, for sponsoring this. We are so happy that they're doing it, and we love them. We really do love them. Now, family, thank you so much for coming and watching it. Our first episode of OFPG Voices. Leave your comments. Talk to us. Tell us how you feel. Talk about the different segments you saw. Just talk to us. We love talking to you too. And then one more thing, family. Always know, always remember, we love you.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Bye-bye.